You are a new real estate agent and you've just joined your brokerage, your real estate team, and you're ready to go. And you're being told by those around you that you really need to work with buyers first because that's how you'll slowly learn the business and then you'll migrate over to listings. Well, I want to tell you something that I learned when I was an ISA before I became a real estate agent. I was working for my first agent, and one day I asked him, why is it that you want me to spend 75% of my time calling expires and for sale by owners and only 25% of my time pursuing buyers? He said, well, the reason is simple. Because when you're working with sellers, you already have the product. When you're working with buyers, you don't have the product, you have to go find it, and it's more time consuming. I said, okay, fair enough. I just learned something. So fast forward to a couple of years after that, I'm continuing to work as an ISA and I learn a little bit more about the business. I'm just starting out like you are, and I'm ready to work with anybody that wants to work with me, whether it's a seller, a buyer, somebody who needs to rent property. I am there every step of the way because a closing is a closing, whichever way you approach it, right? There's a commission check waiting to be earned. That being said, I am focusing more of my business building efforts on the listing side, just like the first agent I worked for recommended. And I'm going to show you that here now on these slides.
Okay, so here's my bird's eye view for you. Let's say that you have secured a buyer client. They find a property that they love, you get them into contract, and they purchase the home. Everything's great. They really enjoyed working with you, and they have referred you to a friend of theirs. So now you have two clients, the buyer that you closed, and now you have another client, and you'll probably close them. So that's fantastic. But let's contrast working with a buyer with working with a seller. Here's my goal to represent the seller. Take a look at this. Not only can you sell the seller's home, the listing, you can also get a referral like you did in the buyer scenario. But there's two other prongs here, two other benefits that you don't get when you're working with a buyer. You can get exposure from the listing, the sign in the yard. Maybe you hang door hangers at the neighbors' homes to let them know that you have that listing. There's all types of digital marketing that you do, social media posts. People in town are going to know that you are selling this house. So you're really getting your name out there. There's also the opportunity of getting buyers from the open house that you run for this listing. Direct unrepresented buyers, if they don't buy the subject home, they might go on to buy other homes with you. So if you look at this, you will notice that listings offer 3 times the amount of opportunity as a buyer client. Let's talk about leverage. Leverage is using something to maximum advantage. You're kind of maneuvering through a situation and trying to get the desired outcome by being strategic. And that's what we're doing here as we try to build our business. Time equals money. So we want to be super strategic when it comes to how we're spending our time so that we can acquire new clients. And I love this illustration here of this woman who's climbing this wall because this is what we're all trying to do as we build our business. The first thing that we all have available to us right now as we're just starting out is data. Data comes in the form of for sale by owners that we can get for free from Zillow. Zillow has for sale by owner listings on it. It's got the doesn't have the names, but it has the phone numbers of the sellers. We can reach out and say, hey, can I be your backup plan if you're not able to sell the home on your own? So we're leveraging data to get the word out via telephone that we are the best real estate advisor in the market and we can definitely help that seller sell their home. The next step here on the leverage ladder is appointments. We are leveraging appointments, the opportunity to meet face to face with the seller to let them know what our specific strategy is for selling their home. And then as we continue up the ladder, we then acquire listings. We are successful at securing the appointment. Now we've got the listing signed. We're going to leverage the listings to generate sales and acquire new clients, like we just talked about in the previous slide, via open houses, via the marketing that we're doing for the subject property, and things are moving in a positive direction. And let's look at the top of the leverage ladder, sales volume. All of that money that we're generating from the listings and from the marketing of the listings and the unrepresented buyers that are coming into our open houses, we got a lot of money now. So now we're going to take that money and invest it back into our business. We might be growing a team. We might be getting some agents to work under us, or we might be creating a downline, something that you can do here at Real. If somebody joins the brokerage because of you, then you will earn a percentage of what they earn, not their portion of the commission check, but the brokerage's portion. So there's another opportunity to scale, as they say, or to build your business. And I think this is super important to understand because when you're coming into real estate, I don't think you really see the big picture. Veterans of the industry do.
Veterans see the picture because they've been in the business a while, and just like anything, the more you're in a situation, the more you become familiar with it. Having started off as an ISA and having worked with numerous teams and just seeing how these conversations that I have on the phone can lead to, putting a flag here or putting a flag there, meaning a sign in the yard, I've seen how the team can grow firsthand. And I want you to be aware of that as a new agent, because if you're not thinking about lead acquisition all the time, then you are going to put yourself in a very vulnerable position, because you might have a few clients today, but are you going to have a few clients 4 months from now, 8 months from now, a year from now? You always have to be feeding your pipeline and thinking about client acquisition. If you don't have client acquisition continually coming through the door like like a revolving door, then your business is going to be impacted. So that's why consistency of making the calls is super important. I can't stress that enough for you. I can't remind myself that enough as well. If I'm not making the calls, I'm going to be hurting, maybe not today, but 4 months down the road, 6 months down the road. I know as a new agent, you are trying to figure out everything, and they don't really tell you this at the beginning. You join a team, you join a brokerage, and a lot of times you're like, okay, go work my open houses. That's what a lot of the seasoned agents will say. And I want to impart on you the importance of speaking to sellers right now at the very beginning as you're building your business, the beginning of your real estate career. I hope you guys got value out of this video. If so, please leave me a thumbs up down below. It truly helps the growth of the channel, and I will see you on the next one.